First and foremost, we want to commend Drexel. I mean, Denise Dillon is one of the best coaches in the country, and we knew when they were going to be our opponent that we had our hands full. They run a lot of different things, but I'm proud of our kids for really, setting the tone early with the defense. We stifled them a little bit. I think we held them to 4 points in the first quarter, and it's just a hard-fought win. But I'm really proud of our kids, not only for today, but the way they played, the way they attacked everything this year. We talk about the adversity that we had, but I don't think people understand. I mean, when you lose a Precious Hall before the season starts, you really have to change everything that you want to do. And it's well documented. When Precious went down, I was almost distraught. And and I remember Muff and Jazz one particular day. They came up to me. They said, "What's her diagnosis? Is she going to be okay?" And I said, no, she's probably out for the season. And both of them, on separately, they said, we'll be okay, Coach. And they said it in such a very calming manner that, I definitely trusted them. Then Ashley came in, stepped up, played well. But it was just a team effort all year long, and that's the way we played today. I thought that, Ashley got us off to a start, hitting a three. Muff just ran the show all night long. And then Jazz was Jazz and brought us home down the stretch. And so it was a really good win. Very happy for these kids. They deserve it. I told them this is the team that deserves it the most, and I'm very happy that they were able to go out and finish as CA champions.
We'll take questions now. Please pass the microphone.
Coach, you mentioned it, but just how big of a factor was that getting off to that fast start, that early advantage, and then it's kind of holding that throughout?
Well, I think we've shown we can play both ways. We played Drexel at our place. We jumped on them 24-10. We were at their place. We were down 18. So we had to play from behind. I always say that when you play Drexel and you get down, it's kind of like the wind chill factor. You can be down 10, but it feels like 18 because of how slow they play. It's kind of like if you go outside and if it's 10 degrees but the wind's blowing, it really feels like it's like negative 10 degrees. And just playing against them, it's such a chore sometimes because they really are methodical with their offense. But so we wanted to get out to a good start. It's easier said than done against them. They do a really good job, but we knocked down some shots early. But it was our defense that really set the tone for us, and we stifled them a little bit.
Coach, I don't think of Dee Dee Griffin as a great three-point shooter, but I guess she proved me wrong.
She is.
Can you talk about her effort today, both on the boards and from three?
We give her the green light. As long as she has her feet set, she's a really good three-point shooter. And we joked about it last week. Was it Charleston?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was Charleston. Dee Dee was in the corner. And we were about to swing it, and Charleston was yelling, "Shoot her in the corner, shoot her in the corner." And we all looked like, who? Dee Dee? And, lo and behold, they threw it to her, and she knocked it down. So we joked about it a little bit, but she is a three-point shooter. She's a stretch four. She's a definition of a stretch four, and really helps us a lot. And tonight really, set the tone for us and really was able to enable us to stretch the lead out.
Now that you're won so many of these things, do you approach them differently than maybe, I don't know, like 2010? Watching you today, it seemed very workmanlike. It seemed to have a different feel than when I've seen you in the past.
Well, I mean, when you have these three, that are running the show for you. We've been in adverse situations all year long, and this is great leadership right here. Great leadership on what they do and how they do it, whatever the situation is, and. We coach them hard in practice, and then we let them play in the games. And they really come to play. They understand what we want, what we need to do. And I am a little different. I'm a little different. If you ask Coach Williams and Coach Brown, they'll say I'm a lot different than what I was, years back. But a lot of it has to do with this team and how they are and how much fun they've been around. And we've been here before. I thought that paid dividends for us early. I thought we were taking Drexel out of some of the things they wanted to do, but I thought they were a little bit nervous as well. Our kids have been here before. This is the third time, and so we were a little bit more relaxed.
Jasmine and Kenny, could you describe maybe your feelings with 27 seconds left? You're pulling all your starters off the floor, and then you guys had a very nice embrace, to maybe it capsulized the whole time here?
It was special. We've been fortunate enough all of our senior days to be able to get the kids out so they can get a standing ovation from the crowd. We weren't able to do that this year. Something we weren't able to do because we had a 1-point win against Elon, so we needed them on the court. So today, it's like a culmination of just all the hard work that they put in, and all of them have their history, all of them have their story with me. Whether it's Jasmine redshirting her first year and me yelling at her probably for maybe 2.5 years to get her to be tough. Muff Mickens, just minding her trials and tribulations that we went through to get to where we are right now. From Ashley to she spurned me early, but then she came back around the second time. All of them have their story, and to be able to get them out so then we can have that embrace, it's just almost like all the emotion just comes out in those couple seconds. Very special moment. But the great thing is that we still have some basketball left to play.
Jasmine, could you let me know how you felt at that moment, your last CAA?
Yeah, it means a lot because this is really what we work for. All the preseason workouts, all the individual workouts, all the suicides, the down and backs, getting yelled at, like all that comes to like this point, and it's worth it, and it's definitely a way to go out your senior year winning a championship, especially 3 in a row. So definitely a really good moment for myself, and I'm sure for the rest of the seniors, but especially hugging Coach Brooks because we weren't able to my senior night. But I felt the emotion through the whole game. He told me to close it out, and that's exactly what I did.
Angela, yesterday we were talking about the assists, but today the scoring in the first half. How big were those kind of emotional shots like that falling layup in the and one, and then the buzzer beater at the end of the half? How big were those for you?
To be honest, I don't remember.
Out of body experience.
It's one of them out of body experience, and then you look at the stat sheets and you're like, oh, okay. I don't know. I have no answer to that. Sorry.
And Coach, obviously it's early, but you mentioned it's been an unbelievable season for you guys. Have you begun to thought about where this team kind of ranks historically with like the 91 team that had the 21 straight, and you guys have 20 straight now? You begun to thought about that? Or?
I think it's hard to compare across generations, but I mean I can't imagine any team being more athletic than this group, better shooting than this group. But I think what separates this group from the others is the cohesiveness, the chemistry. I mean, these kids, you talk about it, you teach, team, but these kids live it every day in the way that they interact with each other, they take up for each other, they play for each other. It's been an exciting year. It's been a fun year, man. It's been a really fun year, and so. It's like when you have daughters, you never say which one's your favorite, but this one's definitely special, and it will be one that I'll always remember.
Coach, you talked about learning from being in the championship several times. Now you're going back to the NCAA tournament. What can you draw on previously that will help you this year?
Well, this is this group's third year. And the first year we went, we were able to advance. We had senior leadership with Nikki and Kirby. We beat Gonzaga, and we took Texas A&M down to stretch. Last year, I thought we got a bad draw. We ran into a future Final Four team in Ohio State. We played them extremely tough. These kids were major contributors to that, so they understand it. I was talking to a friend of mine who's a BCS coach, and all the bracketologies had us lined up with them. And he was like, man, I don't want to play you guys. And, so I think everyone understands what kind of team we are. I think they'll be battle tested. They'll go in understanding what to expect. And we're not just going to be going. We're going, and hopefully we'll get a good draw. And we're going to win basketball games. And I think this group is capable of doing that.
More questions?
Just to follow up on that, do you have any kind of sense where you might fall? Because it's been such a crazy year. I mean, there are going to be teams that are going to be looking down at teams that they normally look up at.
Selection Monday is always crazy to me, so I can't even begin to try to ponder where we're going to be. I have no idea. I just hope we get a good seed. Last year we were a 12 seed. I didn't think we were a 12 seed. The year before that, I thought they gave us an 11 seed. I didn't think we were 11 seed. I don't know if we're a 10 seed. I don't think we're a 9 seed. But just hopefully we get a favorable matchup. And then wherever they send us, I hope it's relatively close. Because you see our crowd. Our crowd's fantastic, and they will travel. And if the NCAA, I think that's a factor. I think that's a factor. So if the seeding matches up, then hopefully it's relatively close.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Oh boy.